Okay, we'd like to welcome all of our early watchers. We are finishing up the last of the qualifying for match play here at Palmyra Bowling Center. This is game 8. After this, we will be starting the step ladder. So stay tuned for about 10 or 15 minutes. You can see there's a lot of strikes going on here right now, so stay tuned. We'll be back.
Lane 21, curtain drop.
Don't speak too loud.
That was a good shot.
Very good. That's what she did.
I'm not the listen. Last weekend, I told everything that this is the balance.
Left-handed house. I don't have a spare ball. That's your.
Here's those 5 with the form. I'm guessing that Kelsey you don't need because we have last week. Cody's the only one. Darren, Cody. Brianna's 16. Why do you still need it?
Ran to my car.
Oh, 18. I was thinking it was 16.
What's down there? Down there.
Well, the last one you don't need either because he was last week too. So there's 2 on there from last week.
Once again, for all of you in PJBT land who are watching the last game of match play, and we're breaking into it because right here on the live stream, Anthony Nauer is on the front 10. He's trying to climb up. I believe he was in the top 5 after game 7.
Here we go.
By the way, for all of you people that have to get the new bowling balls that are out of the market all the time, just so you know, Anthony is throwing a blue pearl hammer circa 1980 whatever. He now has the front 11. I do believe he is in the 300 pot. People are looking at me wondering who the heck I'm talking to. I'm talking to the world right now.
Is he in the 300?
I believe so.
Hey, is he in the 300?
And the shot is off. 300. Like I said, a blue pearl hammer circa 1980 whatever.
Pulling the leads 19 and 20, Anthony Nauer with a perfect game of 300. That's a nice game for Anthony.
I don't know, honey. I'm on my surprise money.
He was in the 300 pot, so at the moment, Jean Blair and Anthony will split $114, 57 apiece.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, once again, we are waiting for game 8 to finish. To my left at the moment with Skip Moyer, who was en route. His plane was delayed from Beverly Hills. I'm sure he's hobnobbing with maybe the Clintons somewhere out in Beverly Hills.
Why the Clintons?
Because he runs around with people with that kind of money. But anyway, to my left, for those of you who are trying to visualize this, is the Prodigy. That's his bowling nickname. The Prodigy, Daniel Althouse. Why I call him the Prodigy? I don't know, because he's not that good, but he thinks he's good, so.
No, I don't.
He is the Prodigy.
I don't think I'm good.
Daniel, how did you do today? Did you qualify?
No.
No? What place did you finish?
How many made the cut?
16.
Tied for 17.
Tied for 17. And plus 10. And cut, I believe, was plus 21 on the scratch side. Can you say, oops,
Can I say what is carry?
what is carry? Well, that's a person's name.
Yes.
Interesting. What were your scores? Any idea?
Shot 172 the first game.
Excellent.
Put the wrong ball in my hand because I had about 4 balls that were decent, and I guess I picked the wrong one.
Are you saying you should have started with the left one instead of the right one?
Yes. Then I
Wait, you
shot.
have 4?
Yes.
Okay.
Then I shot 225. Then 214. 195, 204.
You say that like you don't know.
I think I'm actually right.
Let's see.
172,
Yep.
225,
Yep.
214,
Yep.
195,
Yep.
204.
Very good. For plus 10.
Garbage when my challenge shot average is 10 higher than my house shot average. 10.
So why, other than carry, why did you average only 202? What, did the lanes transition differently than what you're used to?
Every lane seemed to play different. Every pair I went to, I had the ball I was throwing prior didn't really work on that pair. I had to go to something weaker, stronger, snappier, whatever.
Okay. It looked like, from my coaching eye, that the lanes got tighter as the block went on.
Until the 5th game, they seemed to get a little. They started meh, kind of not super tight, but there was certainly no hold. Then they got really tight to where I could throw a really strong ball, but then the last game I couldn't. I had to go to a ball that went really long.
So, for all you kiddies listening out there, now I know this is a little hard to find out from your local bowling centers, but different oils do drastically different things. This almost, to me, Prodigy looked like it could have been Defense S oil, where Defense S kind of separates itself. You lay the Defense S oil down on the heads, and as
let's
you
go back and
continue
put
bowling, the molecules in Defense S actually separates itself
Bye. Take care.
and drags itself down the lane. So you have oil remaining on the heads, but you get oil further down the lane. So in essence, the shot gets tighter, and then it loosens up, which is vastly different from other oils like fire, for example, which the viscosity of fire, yes, that's a word, look it up, ladies and gentlemen, little kiddies out there, viscosity. It's a thinner viscosity, so it's going to hook sooner. Where ice or Defense S isn't. Do you agree, Prodigy?
Yes.
A man of few words.
Sorry.
So, what I was seeing was correct. The lanes tended to get tighter as the block went on until game 5 when it did finally start to break.
And then watching match play, it seemed like there was a lot more hold, but if you were playing a little bit deeper, it didn't look like there was so much as hold, as in it wouldn't go through the face, but it wasn't going to hook into the pocket. But if you were playing a little straighter, it actually looked like you had a lot of hold room, but no area to the right, because otherwise it would look high.
Which is exactly what which is exactly what either defense S or possibly even ice would do. Putting on the headset now, since he shot 300, and the last part is Mr. Anthony Nauer. State your last name properly, because I said that wrong.
Nair.
Nair, close enough. Nauer. It's all the same. That was a pretty nice 300 game.
With the plastic ball.
It's urethane.
Like plastic.
I was telling people that you were throwing the Blue Pearl Hammer circa 1980 whatever.
Yeah.
So, who needs to go out and spend $250 on a bowling ball when you could throw just urethane equipment straight up 3 or 4 or whatever you were playing?
Anywhere between first and second arrow.
Basically.
Or between the gutter and second arrow.
Yeah.
So, Anthony, we were talking about the oil here. Being on the left side and playing, different than like a righty would do. Did you have to adjust at all? Like I was saying, it seemed like the oil carried down and got tighter as the block went on. Were you seeing the same thing on the left, or were you pretty much staying the same all day?
I was actually kind of seeing the opposite. It started to hook a little more on the left as the day went on.
Okay, so it didn't get tighter and then loosen up? You just saw it normal?
Yeah.
Okay, but you're left-hander, and we all know lefties are backwards. Right, Prodigy?
Yes, no lefty comes around the ball anymore.
Lefties suck.
That was one Dylan Zimmerman, who's going to get docked 25 points for that little outburst.
He shouldn't be saying much. He doesn't hook the ball.
Yeah, anyway, for someone who bowls on the right that doesn't hook the ball.
With a right of 10 on everything.
Well, Anthony, I'm thinking you're probably in the top 5.
Yeah.
How come nobody calls you Tony, by the way?
I don't know.
You don't look like a Tony.
No. It doesn't matter, but nobody calls me by Tony.
Nobody at all?
Nope.
I might call him Tony. That's going to be his nickname.
Good for you.
I'm Tony too. One of my nicknames is many
Tony
is
DePope.
Tony DePope. That's TonyDI. P-O-P. Tony DePope. And of course, PA Fats. The Fat Man. That's PHA double T.
There was one time I actually did call you PA Fats, and that felt kind of weird. Because last week I said, PA Fats! And you actually turned and looked at me.
Well, that would be me that you were talking to. All right. Well, Anthony, good luck. Assuming you made the top 5.
Yeah.
We wish you luck. Maybe we'll see you back here afterwards for the post-game interview.
Hopefully.
And if not, well, you sucked somewhere in Step Ladder.
Or someone just shot 300.
No, he sucked. No.
He's throwing plastic. You can't miss.
Urethane.
It's very, very shiny urethane.
Yes.
It's a Blue Pearl Hammer.
The Blue Pearl Hammer.
I had a Red Pearl Hammer back in the day.
Do you want a cookie?
Which hooked a little less than the Blue Pearl.
I bet you wouldn't have been able to play right up 5 with it.
Not back then. Not on 8 feet of oil like my bowling center would oil for Sunday afternoon high school leagues. No. But again, they didn't strip, but once a week back then.
Fun.
If that, up there. All right, Mr. Nauer, who's your favorite PJBT personality, by the way?
PA Fats.
Thank you, and you better say the same damn answer if you.
I think you're
win
the
this
only
damn
one
thing.
ever to say that.
PJBT bowlers and parents, I have the results of our
We have
18th
Matt now
qualifying
with the
round for
results.
this tournament.
Are you going to be here when we come back?
Thank you, Andy.
Our scratch division finals for the live streaming that's already begun is on 19 and 20. Handicap division 21 and 22. Our practice lanes will be 17 and 24. In the scratch division, your leader at plus 379 with his 300 is Anthony Nauer.
Anthony Nauer jumps into the lead at plus 379.
Second place
courtesy
at
of his
plus 357 is Curtis Stigg.
357 for Curtis Stud.
Third place at plus 346 is Jared DeFalco.
346 for Jared DeFalco.
Fourth place at plus 314. The other bowler who shot 300 today, Gene Blair.
314 for Gene Blair, who also shot 300.
And our fifth and final qualifier for the step ladder at plus 256 is Alex Glinsky.
256 Glinsky.
256 to make the finals. Okay, the following bowlers have earned a scholarship. Finishing in 6th place, getting a $40 scholarship at plus 242 goes to Christian Francis.
242 for Christian Francis, so he misses it by 14. He still makes some money though.
Our 7th place finisher getting a $30 scholarship at plus 220 goes to Connor Kolasitis.
Kolasitis or Kolasitis, however you pronounce it, is 7th at 220. Daniel, when you made
And our 8th and final
Prodigy, what
cash
did
spot
you
in scratch,
you had? 190
$30 scholarship
193,
at plus
2 years ago.
198 goes to Dylan Zimmerman.
Dylan Zimmerman rounds out the cashers at plus 198. Look at that. You wouldn't even have cashed.
So it
And
was
you're 193 2 years ago.
256 to make
Which
the
got
finals
me
and
5th
198
place.
cash
That was
in
just
the
your
scratch
second
division.
tournament scratch.
Handicap
Let's talk about the
division.
first tournament.
Your leader at plus 172 is Darren Zombro III.
Darren Zombro III finishes
Second place at
his
plus
first handicap
147 is Cody
170.
Krieger.
at 170 something. Chloe Krieger.
Third place at plus 126
172
is Kelsey
for Zombro.
Krieger.
Cody Krieger at 147.
Fourth place
Kelsey
at plus
Krieger at
117 is
126.
Brianna Strickland.
Brianna Strickland will be in the first match at plus 117.
And our fifth and final qualifier for the finals at plus 89 is Cole Overs.
And plus
89 to make the finals in the handicap division. Okay, if I can have all the finalists, please report down
Last week.
here
Because we have
for
our
final
scratch
instructions to begin our live streaming finals.
I believe so.
Parents and bowlers, you're more than welcome to gather around the outside of the couple of pairs that we're using. Okay?
Let's move some people here. Let's get tournament director Matt over here. Go hand that to Matt, please.
One time, there's also already one time.
Are you looking for an egg? Should we try it? Should we see if it works? Well, we gotta see what it gives us, right?
So let's see here for a second, Prodigy. We have Anthony Nauer as our number one seed, who just shot 300 on the finals pair, and he's the only lefty.
Odds-on favorite?
I would say he's the favorite. The question is,
Is the oil going to sit and dry up a little bit for his side?
right, and, you know, he's going to be resting for quite a while. I mean, yeah, he could practice whenever he wants. See you, Mr. Zimmerman. Try to bowl a little better next week.
He has 2 weeks in a row.
Hey, that's not bad, cashing 2 weeks in a row. Maybe if you get your rev rate up into the 70s, you'll cash a little more. Maybe.
Hey, at least he didn't shoot 803 this week.
So anyway, he has the opportunity to sit and relax for a little while. So the question is he going to tighten up?
Maybe.
Only time will tell. We will make our. If we had to predict right now, I would say both of us would choose Anthony.
Yeah, I'd choose Anthony.
And I would say, if I had to choose right now in handicap, I'd have to take the leader to Darren Zombro.
He had a good match play. 190, 215, 212. To go from plus 56 to plus 172 after match play. Going 3-0.
That usually helps. You do see that a lot, those number one seeds, especially when you get less than 10 pins in handicapping game. The chances that he went 3-0, probably pretty good. I mean, he was plus 56, so that means he shot plus 41 scratch. Boy, he only shot plus 10.
Stop rubbing it.
Yeah. And then he shot 190, 215, 212 scratch.
He must have figured out how to carry.
And one by 9 pins, one by 27 pins, and one by 7 pins. See ya, Meatball. Cody Krieger, he, let's see here, also went 3-0. He got 6 pins handicap. So a lot of the better bowlers in the handicap division did well today. He went 201, 246, 180 scratch. Kelsey was getting 88 pins a game. She went 1-1 and 1. 1 win, 1 loss, 1 tie. She went 118, 133, 120. She won 206, tied at 221, and lost at 208. Brianna Strickland, she went win, loss, and a big time win. She shot 258 scratch her last game. Beat 274 with her handicap. That was Andrew Malozzi, who gets docked 25 pins. For talking when he wasn't supposed to.
Yeah, you want to dock 25 pins from the already awful score?
No, 25 points. I'm sorry. 25 points off of your standard.
That's not going to do anything.
And then we have Cole Oberst, who gets 22 pins, and he went loss, win. He went 162, 193, 218. I don't have the scratch cards in front of me, so I can't tell you how the scratch did, other than we know Anthony Mallard shot 300.
Del Falco had
And look who walks in the door.
Mr. Skip
Moyer, who looks like he got a little buzz cut this week. It's interesting. Let me tell you something about Skip Moyer.
I'm gonna actually introduce the bowlers, so.
Okay.
Okay?
We're going to introduce bowlers now, and then I'm going to tell you about what's going on with Skip.
You went golfing today.
114, your prize already, 114.
He comes by with the introductions.
Oh yeah. Slimming today or what? Yeah, actually you have to go to work.
Okay, bowlers and parents, it's time to introduce our finalists for tournament number 2 of the season from Palmyra Bowling Center. Starting with our scratch division, our 5th seed from Linfield, Pennsylvania, Alex Glinsky.
Alex Glinsky, the 5th seed.
Our 4th
walks out
seed
as
from
if really
Waldorf,
excited.
Maryland, Gene Blair.
Gene Blair with a little more excitement in his walk than sporting the
Our
nice
3rd
blue
seed
jeans.
from Leesburg, Virginia, Jared DeFalco.
Jared DeFalco. Those are 3 seeds. First off, let me say we haven't seen a handsome
Our
ball
2nd
yet.
seed in the scratch division from
There we
Elizabethtown,
go. Right
Pennsylvania, Curtis
Curtis
Stigg.
Stitt, who used to weigh about 314 pounds.
And our
lost a lot
scratch
of weight.
division tournament leader from Lewisburg, Pennsylvania, Anthony
Then
Nyer.
we have
300.
Anthony,
That is your scratch division finalist for the Palmyra Bowling
Nyer.
Center Open.
whose father was
In
on
handicap, starting in 5th place, our
What
5th
went?
seed from Dallas, Pennsylvania, Cole Oberst.
Cole Oberst.
We'll skip it, dude.
Our 4th seed from Pottsville,
Anthony.
Pennsylvania, Brianna Strickland.
Can't say- You're in my way.
Our 3rd seed from Greencastle, Pennsylvania, Kelsey Krieger.
So we have Cole, Brianna, Kelsey. I will say,
Our
the
runner-up,
handicap division
our
was a
2nd
lot
seed
more
group from
attractive.
Greencastle, also PA,
the scratch
Cody
division.
Krieger.
Pretty ugly, let me tell you.
Let's point one thing
Cody
And our
out.
Krieger
handicap
second.
division tournament leader from Lebanon, Pennsylvania, Darren Zombro
I said that about 10
III.
minutes ago. And Darren
Bowling fans, that is your
Also, I
5
will say,
finalists for the
other-
handicap division of
It's
the
kind of
Palmyra
a
Bowling
height
Center
differential in the
Open.
handicap division too. We got 2 people of normal height and 3 midgets.
Well, if they're midgets.
Your fan base just called me. Told me to let you know because your voice is muffled through me. People are having a hard time understanding you. They're listening to it on live stream.
Really?
Yeah, Jay Marie just called to tell me to let you know.
Bring up and then listen. Well, we
Fine.
tested it as well.
Yeah, well, I just figured I'd let you know because I don't know if something happened, but That's the word on the street.
So we got word that the live stream voice is muffled. So for those of you who are watching, I don't hear it being muffled here.
Okay on my end.
We're bringing up the live stream here. Hi, Tyler Heckman. I have the live stream up, and the voice sounds fine for me. So who's ever watching, if you could get to the chat and let me know how you can hear the voice.
All right, guys, go ahead and just hit the check box. Just start your practice.
Now, we were talking about midgets.
Yes.
Or short people. I don't want to, genetically, heightily challenged.
Yes, we get it.
It has nothing to do that they're like 8, 10, and 11 years old. They're just challenged in height. Yeah.
Like Blinsky, he's not too challenged, right?
No.
Or remembering.
No. Looks though. Looks are it. That's where his challenge is.
Don't say that's what can.
No. To each their own.
You were gonna say something about Skip Boyer earlier.
Well, yeah, but Skip walked away, so once Skip comes back, right now we're watching the bowlers warm up. Isn't this exciting?
No. I want to see some exciting matches.
We got Gene Blair from Maryland. We got Blinsky from somewhere in probably Montgomery County. He bowls out of Limerick. We got
Linfield, Pennsylvania.
Linfield, Pennsylvania, thank you. We got Brianna Strickland, who's a senior this year up in Pottsville. And Cole Oberst, who I believe is from the Wilkes-Barre area. And we got the waitress who brought me some french fries. Thank you, waitress.
Certainly, sir.
Wasn't Blinsky a leader after 5?
Yes, he was. By 4 pins over Kirsten. So in this first match, Brianna will be given 6 pins to Cole. 6, remember that. 6.
In match play.
Not 5, not 7, 6. That's my standard answer when I don't know the answer. 6. No one's keying you in because no one said you could pick up that headset and you just did it. Just because you're also one of my children. Non-genetically like the rest of them. Alright, go ahead. You can say something. Don't say with a mouthful of french fries. You got 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Your time is now up.
The only match was too cold.
I don't know how you know that, but I guess you know.
So maybe Brianna's got some revenge.
Maybe. Both are from the coal regions.
Looking at the card, Blinsky win.
And his name is Cole.
Win, loss, loss. 192-191 win over Ambrose Sharp. A 246 loss to Christian Francis.
Yeah, we really don't care.
Yes, we do. Another to Curtis Stitt, our second seed, I believe. Our 3 seed.
For those of you 27
These are
people who are
seconds.
watching us right now, tell your friends. For some reason, it looked like we jumped offline there. Either that or make sure we're still online. Prodigy.
Prodigy.
That's a great name.
Nothing's loaded.
What's going on here? Let me see what the deal is.
Okay, bowling fans, our first match of the step ladder for today. Okay, the finals, our first match of the step ladder. It is 5th seed 4th seed Gene Blair versus 5th seed Alex Klinsky. Gene has elected to start the match on the left lane, 19.
All right, so we're back out
For the handicap division, it is 4th seed Brianna Strickland versus 5th seed Cole Overs. Has elected to let Cole start the match. 1 frame on 21. Bowling fans, let's have a nice hand for the finalist of match number 1.
Stop touching the table. Pick up your French. Alright, so hopefully our technical difficulties have ended. Hard to tell.
Gene with the messenger on the first frame.
Alright, so we have Gene Blair who elected to use the force. Gene elected to start the match, and Brianna elected to let Cole start. Again, Brianna has given Cole 6 pins. Gene Blair started with a strike. Klinsky up his first frame, lane 20. He buries it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. By the way, do not try this at home. Please let the professionals handle this. And I'm not talking about the bowling. I am talking about the commentary. Feel free to go to your local bowling center anytime and bowl. They need your money to stay open.
Klinsky stepping up on the left lane in the second. Switch the pins around, strike.
But he left one on the deck.
Big deal.
Little score correction going on the handicap side. Looked like Cole, I believe, made the spare. And the curtain fell again on 21. Gene Blair up. He goes light, leaves the 2, the 4, and the 8.
Pretty easy spare.
Did it look like he might have thrown that one hard, or did he lose it a little bit off his hand? What do you think?
That actually may have been a little left.
Left, so he caught some.
Yeah, there's a big ledge of oil inside of 10 on the sun. Oh wow, gets a kick from the back.
Interesting way to make the spare.
Not conventional, but there's a slash in the box.
Is that what that is?
Yes.
Are you ready, Skip? Apparently not. And it looks like we are ready to go on the handicap side. Gene Blair up, 3rd frame. Got a spare, buried it in the hole, 10 back.
See, that was a little bit further right than the last one.
I'm glad you could notice. I can't. Brianna also puts 10 back in her first frame. Klinsky up, frame 3, working on a double to start with the turn.
A 20-pin lead here.
An early 20-pin lead.
It's decent. Switches the pins around.
For anyone that cares, in the game that Gene Blair shot his 300, Alex Klinsky had front 10 on the pair protected next to him.
And shot 286.
They missed.
Brianna goes a little high, leaves the 4-7. Looked like a nice shot, just cut a little. At the end, leaves a makeable spare. Alex looking for the front 4.
Switches the pins again.
And he gets it. You know, it really looks like he needs to spend a little time upping his rev rate a little bit. What do you think, Prodigy?
I think his rev rate's touching, what, 450?
Is it 45?
It's not Matt. Oh, Matt's not out there.
All right, Brianna did make her spare.
That looks solid.
Pull up in the second frame on the handicap side, and he trips a whole bunch of pins to strike that match. Scratch-wise is tied by 6 with the handicap.
Gene getting the double scratch match. Looked a little bit further right than the last one. Maybe not a lot, but a little bit by that friction. Playing these lanes very straight.
Oh, a little unlucky. That was one of your kind of hits. How many 7 pins did you leave today?
Like 5 or 6.
5 or 6, and you're right-handed, I believe, the last I checked.
Yes, I am right. I think I left more 7 pins than 10 pins. I believe I left 3 10 pins.
Cole, by the way, leaves a 10 pin on a nice hit. Let's see if he converts the spare. And
Yes, he
does. Does, ladies and gentlemen. And Gene converts the 7 pin, no problem. He has 89 through 4 with a spare in the 5th. And let's see what the strike will have 90 in the 3rd. And we have a little person in front of us. Hi, little person. Brianna,
Stuffing
little
the
unlucky.
9 pin.
Solid 9, a little unlucky there. Blinsky
Looks a
to
little
get
left.
the first 5.
Again with the light hit. That was left.
That was left all the way, but he carried out the 5-7. And Brianna covers the spare relatively easy. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the chat line is open on our live stream. If you want to say hi, ask a question, ask me or the Prodigy out on a date.
Whoa.
Not together.
Oh. Let's go looking for a 41 pin lead here.
That looked a lot like his second ball of the 10th on the front.
Yes, it did. Leaves the bucket.
Brianna,
A little high.
she goes a little high, leaves the 3-6. And I tell you what, this is, I believe, the beginning of our 5th year on the handicap. Bowling PJBTs, you bowled the first 2 seasons in the
Yes, this
handicap
is my
division.
5th year.
I would say the bowler that's probably come the longest way in that time is Brianna. When we first knew her, she was throwing a backup ball, I believe.
First tournament I made the finals, she won that tournament.
Yes.
Throwing a backup ball.
That was down at Lincoln Lanes in Chambersburg. The 3rd tournament you were ever in.
Yes. Let's not talk about the first 2 that I was ever. One being here, getting last place.
At last, sure. Fortunately, Brianna chopped the spare. She had 65 after 4.
Gene stepping on the small opening Glinsky gave me.
Linsky did make the spare too. Cole working on a spare going 8 to the 4th. Oh, beautiful shot. Yes, he is. Mystery voice. Gene up, looking to double. This would be very helpful.
Perfect.
Nice shot. That cuts that match back to 20. Actually, about 17.
Letting Glinsky know that he's gonna stick around.
Yes. Cole looked like he tugged that a little left. He went high. He leaves the
6-10.
Well, thank you.
Let's see.
The score thing was right below. I just wanted to make sure I didn't want to get it wrong. Linsky up, working on a spare.
That looks a little bit better. Messenger? No.
Flat 10. Looked like that ball rolled out about 3 feet before it got into the box.
Yeah, just about. Looked like it may have been actually a little bit right of his target. Hit the dry. Probably a little bit stronger of a ball. I'm not too sure what he's throwing.
very colorful ball, whatever. I don't mean his spare ball that he just. Brianna up, working on an open in frame 5. Oh, beautiful shot. Gets a little unlucky to leave the solid 10. So right now on the scratch side, we have a 16-pin match. Still anybody's ball game. Gene gets up and strikes on his next shot. He can cut the match down to 6, depending upon what Glinsky does right here. Again,
Another flat 10.
week 10, that one looked inside to me.
Definitely in. Probably needs to make a 1-and-1 adjustment with his feet left, maybe.
Maybe.
Or maybe just a 1 board with the feet.
Or he just needs to throw 2 better shots.
Or that.
Brianna, by the way, did convert the spare. Good pickup. She is down by 15, scratch 21 with a handicap. Glinsky does convert the spare. So he is up by 15. Gene with a double can take the lead.
By 2.
5.
2. 5, sorry.
5.
Mathematician over here.
Brianna trips out the 9-pin just to leave the 4-7. Gene definitely got that out wide, and with his speed, that's
Another
not coming in.
2-4-8 for Gene. Looking to maybe more conventionally make this one.
That definitely was outside, and with his speed, that was not coming back. And this time he does not convert the spare. He leaves the 8-pin. We would like to welcome any of you guys who are associated with the Danny Wiseman tournament that are watching us this afternoon. Brianna does convert the spare. She is 83 with the spare in the 5th. Cole with potentially 100 if he would strike. Gene comes back, he goes high, he leaves a split. He will probably have back-to-back opens, which is going to all but end his day. Cole
Getting half a loaf.
half a loaf. I hope it's a marble rod.
Gene getting the 4-7.
So all of a sudden he finds himself down a lot. He could go out for 203. In essence, this match is
And
over.
Glinsky already has one that's 74 and a 7
Yes.
on a spare. Only needs a couple pins to wrap it up.
Well, if he were to go 9 miss double gutter, he could lead it.
And that is the only way.
Pretty much. Cole, pretty bad effort on that spare, only getting 2. He has 102 in the 6th. Brianna, if she strikes in the 7th, will take a 1-pin lead scratch. Glinsky, good shot.
But he gave that one maybe a little bit of airtime.
Well, you know, he pretty much has this match sewn up, so he can try that kind of stuff. Cole with a good shot leaves the 4-pin. He should be able to make this, but we don't want to jinx him. And Glinsky misses, keeps Gene in the match if he were to double gutter here. Which is
Highly unlikely. But he did gutter earlier this tournament.
on the front 5, I believe. Front 5 or
Spare
6.
5.
Okay.
But he did smack it up his ankle. He told me.
Well, you know what? I smacked mine off my ankle on the front 11.
Which is still hilarious.
Which nobody will ever know whether I'm telling the truth or not.
Except a couple people might know. And leaving the big split. Match is over. Doesn't matter.
Gene Blair does not like it, but it looked like Glinsky was fishing for a couple things.
Looked like he was trying to maybe give the ball some more air.
So I think
See what happens.
if Gene were to watch the screenplay, there would be no need for him to get mad. Because Glinsky looked like he was just trying something. Brianna, by the way, did strike in her 7th frame. Cole spared, so now Brianna is up by 1-pin scratch, but down by 5 in her handicap. She could go up by 5 here with a double.
And Glinsky moves on to face Jeremy Falco in our second match.
Another
Shot by Brianna.
great shot by Brianna, and again gets unlucky to leave the solid 10. As Miss Derupo from Marion Derupo, Frank will tell you, she probably does not have enough deceleration going on into the pocket, and ergo she's leaving the solid 10.
You sound like a pro now.
Well, I did sleep at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
No, you didn't. True. I went to bed before you.
And we do sleep on different floors. By the way, Glinsky wins 211 to 192. He moves on. Brianna in the handicap match, she spares in the 8th.
Cole would be down 1 scratch on the show.
And up 5. That's back when he was playing at the beginning. And then 10.
Looked like the ball ran out of energy. It was DOA entering the pocket. He was himself a half hit 10.
Using a pretty strong ball into Nirvana.
Well, that could be why he half hit 10 there. The ball is losing all of its energy.
And then that caught on fire, so that's a
This is the 10 pin. Another 10 pin for Cole.
That was a better shot.
I think he would needs to move left with that stronger ball.
Yeah, I would say so.
Needs to find a little bit more oil. Missing the 10 pin again.
Two straight misses really opens this match up now. He could shoot
Like, I didn't want to
175 with his handicap before he strike out for 10.
Jump up.
So let's see if Brianna could slam the door shut, taking advantage of those 2 mistakes.
Just leave them up. Really?
That's a good shot. And
Unlucky.
almost lucky.
This is actually a very big spare for them.
She makes it, she would only need count.
No, for those who can't add, she would still need to mark
I can't.
to shut the door.
Skidmore giving me a pat on the back for that.
If she were to make the spare,
That was
let's
me.
say go 9 out, she will shoot 170.
Sorry.
Remember the handicap here.
Blaming Skidmore for things.
And she does make the spare. So,
I mean, I did
Let's
go to
see.
Conrad Weiser, so my math isn't exactly
Yeah, sure. Blame the school.
or your English, or your history.
good. No, English. All my Spanglish. My history's pretty good.
All right, Brianna needing to mark to end Cole's day. That looks like a good
decent.
shot. 10 back,
Game over.
unless if she were to get 1 on the next 2 shots. She still needs to get 2 pins in 2 shots.
4.
2, she's on a streak.
3.
Oh my god.
She needs 3. If he strikes out, she would need 3.
Okay,
and then there would be 6.
she'll probably get
She needs
3.
4 to win.
There's your 4.
And shuts the door. Brianna moves on to face one of the Kriegers, Kelsey, in the next match.
Last
All right. Andrew, thank you very much for stopping by. Even though you weren't invited, you just kind of grabbed a headset and came on.
Yeah.
We will be charging you $59.95, so you will get a bill in the mail. At 25 points. Docking yourself 25 points. Let's see, Brianna's shooting 189, and like we said, Cole will go out for 175 with his handicap. So we are going to take a break here. We will be back very shortly. You are watching continuous coverage of the PJBT here in beautiful downtown Palmyra at the Palmyra Bowling Center. We will be back. We will be back.
The new GM of the Philadelphia Phillies has died, Skip Moyer. Also, second vice president and youth committee. You should probably take a picture of that poster.
I wasn't invited, but I still did a better job than him.
Debatable.
You can't act.
One of these days, we'll get a picture with the real Skip Moyer and then say, "For the real Skip Moyer, please stand up."
I'm taking this.
Don't break it. Unmute that. Okay, and we are back. We are about to have the awards presentation for our 5th place finishers. Take it away, Matt.
Bowling fans, it's time to give out our awards for the results of the first game. Finishing in 5th place in the scratch division, getting a $50 scholarship. He also at the moment will receive an additional $57 for his 300 game today. He also receives his 5th place plaque. Goes to Gene Blair. All right, and our 5th place finisher in the handicap division, getting a $30 scholarship. Certificate and award goes to Cole Oberst. Okay, on to our second match of the step ladders.
All right, so the bowlers are going to start warming up for our second match. His plane finally arrived in Harrisburg, and he choppered it over to here. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Skip Moyer. Skip, how nice of us to join. How nice it is for you to join us today here in Palmyra.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. The wind picked up a little bit and blew me all the way into Palmyra here, so I was just here, kind of just fell down on 422 out there right in front of the bowling center. Figured I'd come rejoin you.
Well, thank you. By the way, congratulations are in order, I hear.
Not for anything I did.
Not only are you on the board of the Berks County Bowling, you're on the board of the Schuylkill County Bowling, and now as we see, you're like second vice president and head of youth for the Lebanon County Bowling. Skip, you get around.
I just found that out, actually.
Yes.
You'd be shocked all the places I've been.
Yes. I think he's in line to be the next commissioner of the PBA as well. And maybe the chairman of the International Olympic Committee, too.
For bowling?
No. The whole dumbass.
Offense taken.
Good. All right, so warming up right now, we have Jared DeFalco, who'll be in the scratch match against Alex Glinski. And who was last week's champion, by the way. And on the handicap side, we also have last week's champion, Kelsey Krieger, who will be bowling against Brianna Strickland. And I do not know. I can figure it out really quick. Which handicap will be going on here? Let's see. Kelsey gets. So Kelsey will be.
Kelsey gets 72.
Getting very good. 72. He's getting there.
I knew that without even looking at the paper.
I had a well, because you're Skip Moyer.
Skip does his homework.
And it's also now up in the computer system, which it wasn't there when I peeked.
I'm not saying I looked at that or anything. I'm just,
Yeah.
you know,
Yes.
I hopped in my DeLorean and went in time and figured out what she got.
You know, they're coming out with new DeLoreans. I saw that yesterday.
I'm not gonna buy one.
You built a time machine? I have a DeLorean. Gene Blair was giving me the evil eye as he was walking by for some unknown reason.
I was not.
Either that or he was going to ask one of us out on a date. I'm not really sure.
Congratulations. He had a 300.
We did congratulate him already. We won't talk about his ninth and first ball of the 10th, but they all went down.
They were good.
His ball in the ninth went Jersey, and the first ball of the 10th tripped about 4 pins.
See, I was there.
By the way, after the tournament is over, for those of you who would like to hobnob with the rich and famous, meaning us, we'll be going to Moose's, which is by the entrance to the Fort Indian Town Gap if you are in the area.
Jonestown, Pennsylvania.
Take it away, Matt.
Okay, bowling fans, it is time for the second game of our step ladders. We have third seed Jared DeFalco versus fifth seed Alex Glinsky. 3 versus 5. On the handicap side, third seed Kelsey Krieger versus fourth seed Brianna Strickland. Both of our higher seeds have chosen to start the match. Bowling fans, let's have a nice hand for our game 2 finalists.
And we are off. It looks like Jared has elected to start and Kelsey has elected to start. Let's see who moves on to the semifinal match. Kelsey goes a little left. She leaves herself to 1, 3, 10.
Falco going 10 back.
Kelsey gets a little love tap on the 10 to make the spare.
Ball change.
Looked like a pretty good ball change.
Yes, since there's an X up on the board.
He got a lot of pin action with that ball compared to the ball he was using first. Brianna still leaving that solid 10. She probably needs to make a little bit of an adjustment, find a little more oil on the inner part of the lane, in the heads and in the mid-range. Alex looking to take an early 10-pin lead with a double.
Now it's left all the way. Maybe the 2.
Relatively easy spare.
I'd say so.
Brianna misses her 10 pin.
You know, PA, I'm looking over the standings after Game 5 today.
Yes.
Just because, you know, I had to do my homework. I don't see Danny Oldhouse in the top 16 in the scratch division.
Nope. Finished tied for 17.
Tied for 17. Wasn't a good place to be.
Nope. Glinsky with the spare.
Blaming
Match
most
is
of my
even.
first game for that one.
By the way, for our upcoming events, the PJBT will be hitting the road going to New Jersey next weekend for the Palmyra Bowl tournament. Next Friday, it's a warm-up tournament. It's an eliminator doubles tournament. Saturday is the actual Palmyra Bowl tournament. And Sunday, we will be doing a regular PJBT tournament. Information on all of those can be found at the PJBT website at pjbtbowlingseries.com, and that is in Howard, New Jersey. Then the following Sunday, the 11th, we have our first of our 11 qualifiers. 11?
Interrupt you here for a second. Now Falco leading a very interesting 4-5-8 spare.
How did you do that?
It looked like it was a bucket that's within 7.
Well,
He threw the ball and only the 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 9, 10 fell over. That's how he left it.
Thanks, Captain. I guess.
You asked.
huh. Interesting.
Just very interesting spare.
By the way, Brianna struck in the second and Kelsey went 8 miss. So that match is a 3-pin match scratch-wise after 2. Getting back to what upcoming events, on the 11th at Leisure, we have the first Junior Gold qualifying tournament at 9 a.m. And we have Major number 2 on a pattern that I don't know what it is yet, but we will look that up and get back to you at noon. And also is the first of the Buddies Pro Shop adult tournaments. We'll get back to you on what pattern that is too. Both of those start at noon. The Junior Gold starts at 9. I expect everybody who's in the sound of my voice to be in attendance that day, because I'll be there. And we all know where I am and you all want to be.
Well,
I think you should leave the kid at home for that one.
I just might. By the way, DeFalco chopped that interesting 4-5-8 and then struck. So Glinsky with a strike will take an early 12-pin lead, which he does.
the pattern for Leisure Lanes Major number 2 is
The ball again.
the WTBA Melbourne 3017.
Melbourne.
Tricky pattern.
Brianna doubles. And Kelsey had made her spare in the third. So Brianna cuts into some of the handicap that she is giving Kelsey.
A little confused as to how, we're back together again one more time and we lost 2 viewers.
No.
Interesting.
Sorry, kid, you're going to have to go.
I blame you.
Linsky coming up light again on the left-hand lane, trips out a couple pins, leaves himself the relatively easy 4-pin. Brianna over here on lane 21 trying to triple. And
Pocket
410 got very unlucky. That was a strike zone hit.
Matt would know something about a strike zone.
That gives him a 2-pin lead at the moment. If Falco were to double Brianna gets 1. She has 65 in the 4th. Kelsey has 36 in the 3rd, as well as whatever she gets here, which she gets 9, leaves herself the 5, ever dreaded 5.
Falco
doubles.
10 out.
Which, by the way, in case anybody's wondering, the last time yours truly missed a 5-pin was May the 3rd, 1993.
Do you want a cookie?
How do I know that? I shot 800 that day.
Congratulations.
And you missed the 5-pin.
Yes. On a fill ball. I went spare, next 10, yanked it, and spare.
You mean next?
So actually it was spare next 9.
So you can't go 10.
Yes. Spare next 9.
If your kid talks again when I start talking, he's going to have to be fired.
I don't have a kid. It's never been genetically proven. DeFalco with the turkey gets himself right back.
All right,
in that match.
the teenager that rides in the car with you today.
Ah, yes. By the way, for those of you who are wondering, DeFalco shot like 279, 277.
277, 279, 220. be something.
in his match play. So,
Is that it?
yes.
Is that it?
He better work on that.
Yes. He was in Fuego the first 2 games of match play. And believe me, Jared DeFalco lets you know that he was in Fuego in the first 2 games.
Yes,
of
he
match
does. He
play.
lets you know every time he gets a break.
Yeah.
Let's keep back on the strike train.
He seems to have lane 20 down pretty good. He needs to make some type of an adjustment on 19, and the parent of Blinsky turns around and looks at me in agreement.
Or maybe just to see if maybe you left Jack.
See that as well. Let's see, Kelsey, by the way, did make that 5-pin. So this match, that match is tied scratch based upon what Kelsey does here. Your math is getting better.
I must have transferred schools.
Yes. By the way, Skip, we've nicknamed that person to your left the Prodigy.
Prodigy of what?
Just the Prodigy.
Okay.
That's
Scheme with the double.
That's
Big
a
double.
good adjustment by Mr. Glinsky.
Big double by Glinsky.
We just lost another 8 viewers. You're gonna have to go.
8 viewers?
Yeah, I hate to tell you this, Skip, in the first match we had it up to 40.
I'll go home.
But you could just go get our table of mooses.
That's fine. It is seafood night with.
Yeah, that'll be sold out by the time we do.
Probably.
Kelsey chopped the spare, so she has 72 in the 5th.
DeFalco looking to extend his lead to 6th rank. And he does just that.
Skip, can you see the note that was just passed to us?
Yeah, our tournament director is begging for airtime.
He wants us to ask the fans to comment in the chat room if we would like Tournament Director Matt to come on the live stream. So far, nobody has replied.
Are you surprised?
We're back up to 29 viewers now since my cry for help.
DeFalco looking for a 5-bagger.
180 on 21.
Which, by the way, Brianna struck on 22. DeFalco got it left with his speed, and that ain't coming back, just like Gene. First game, looked like he might have lost that 2 off his hand. He leaves himself the 4-8. He's over there banging his shoes.
That is the 2-5.
Oh, sorry, 2-5. I'm at a bad angle.
I understand.
And he chops the spare lead. That is Mr. DeFalco's. That's what he normally does. He always gives somebody an opening in every match that he goes in.
Seems to happen a lot. He'll throw a couple, like he'll throw 4 or 5 in a row, then throw an open. But then he does get back on his train and throw 4 or 5 more in a row.
Yes, he does.
The open seems to cost him more than enough. Maybe throwing a little bit straighter at the 2-5, or taking a little bit of hand out of it. Wouldn't stop him. Not so much.
And we're not really sure what happened there, but it looked like Glinsky lost it off his hand and put it in the gutter at kind of like the dots where I did on the front 11 back in 1996.
Fell off his hand though.
1995.
You hit your ankle. His just fell off his hand. Which, not good. But he's finds himself down by.
Now he's down by 4. Yes. Correctamundo.
And that's.
And we're having a little issue with the pins on lane 21. That looks to be rectified.
It's be looking for lane to spare. Important spare here.
Now it is, yes.
Takes the spare.
That still keeps him up.
Down 4.
down, up, down. All right.
Left, right.
Just goes to show you what an open lane the match can do.
Rihanna splits. Strings on yellows.
Blinsky now, the 8th frame.
Right, so Blinsky and DeFalco are playing a little bit of I don't want it, you take it with each other.
6-pin match after 7 frames. 6. All the strike.
Still down by 4.
Kelsey leaving the solid headpin.
Solid headpin.
Solid headpin.
Ooh, unlucky break. Leaving the 7.
Or lucky break that he didn't leave the 10 with it because he came in quite far behind the headpin.
And it was 6 pins.
Now it is.
DeFalco was up 4 after 7. Blinsky strikes in the 8th. Jarrett didn't pull the 8th frame yet. Alex is up 6. Go back to Conrad Weiser and figure it out.
By the way, for those of you who may be watching this and DVRing the Little League World Series, I'm about to tell you what the score is in the Little League World Series, so mute us right now for 5 seconds. The score of the Little League World Series in the 4th frame is 0-0. And we are back with DeFalco leaving the weak hit 8-pin. Kelsey Krieger sparing in the 7th. She is still up by 60-some pins with her handicap, so she has that match in hand. DeFalco sparing, which could give Blinsky the lead here if he were to strike. Anything other than a strike, if he spares, he's down by 3. If he opens, he's down by a lot more. Brianna Strickland leaves a half a left loaf on 22. She's starting to run out of frames.
She's only up by 7 scratch, and that's not going to get it done.
No, definitely not. 3 opens in the first 6 frames. Not going to help you out.
Yeah, not when you're given over 70 pins. Blinsky looking to double.
Oh, wow.
That is what you call the fast 8, or in this case, the fast 9.
That was a really unlucky break there.
Brianna has to spare here.
Only gets 2.
That's exactly what Cole did when he left.
Yes,
In the first match.
Blinsky looking to make the spare. Stayed down by 3.
So, it all comes down to the 10th frame here on the scratch side. On the handicap side, it's looking more like a Krieger semifinal.
I wonder how that car ride's going to be on the way home.
I don't know.
Too
Please
bad
don't. Go ahead, Steve.
Too bad we can't live stream that.
Yes. Don't confuse that with the 80s movie Kramer versus Kramer.
Good point. I wasn't born yet.
Unfortunately, I was.
Why is that unfortunate?
That means I'm getting old.
We all do this now.
Blinsky goes
Uh-oh.
high, leaves himself to 3-6-10.
Really needed to double there in the 10.
Well, he's definitely going to, as long as he spares here, he's going to force Del Falco to mark himself in the 10th. We all know what Del Falco is going to do.
No guarantee.
No. First, let's make the spin.
Yes.
Kelsey up. She gets 9. Blinsky does make the spare.
Good count here.
Well, he definitely wants to make sure he gets 5. As long as he gets 5, he will force Del Falco to mark.
Looks like that gutter spare and a double may come back to haunt him a little.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, he got
Okay.
5. Definitely got the 5.
So, Falco is going to need to mark to win. Kelsey spared in the 8th. She strikes in the 9th. The best Brianna could do is 176 of that match is over. Kelsey will be moving on, hoping to make it back-to-back weeks. Falco the mark.
So Falco would need to be the same with back-to-back boots. Looks decent. Head back.
Jared DeFalco will be moving on, ladies and gentlemen.
That was a good shot.
Well, not yet. He needs a pin. Two.
I think he'll get 2.
I think he should shoot the 7th pin and then the 10th pin. That's just me.
To make
That's
it
what
exciting.
you would do, right? That's what you would do.
That's what, of course.
Absolutely.
To make it exciting.
Absolutely.
Well,
He didn't do that.
None of this shut the door stuff.
yes.
Absolutely. That would be about as boring as your commentary.
And he was not talking about me, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, he was. Go away.
And Brianna now decides to come in.
There's your. Oh. There's your
Well,
10
wasn't
pin.
that interesting?
There's your 10 pin, but he
Shoot a 10, hit it dead on with hitting nothing else, and leave the 7.
Hit
That-
one, hit 1, get 8.
That was interesting.
Hey, he heard you. He wanted to make that 10 pin.
My wisdom.
It was just really funny how we got 8. Looks like Brianna may have found a line a little too late though.
So our semifinals on the scratch side is going to be the 3-seed Jared DeFalco against the 2-seed Curtis Stid or Stud, how he would like to have himself referred to.
I would choose Stid.
Me too. Like we were saying earlier, Curtis did weigh at one time about 340 pounds. He's now down to a buff about 185. We're not really sure how he lost all that weight. He did.
Good exercise.
Apparently he has a lot of free time at school. He must not be taking very hard courses.
Guess not.
We're taking back-to-back gym classes.
All of a sudden these handicap bowlers decided to come and bowl in the 9th and 10th. They're finishing up the match rather quickly for us. Once again, for those of you who are watching us on our live stream, our chat line is open. Nobody's really saying anything though. So feel free to come chat with us. Tell us how we're doing. What do you want to hear? Who do you want to see? We will put tournament director Matt on for the next game. The Prodigy will be stepping away. He's got a little autograph signing to do.
It's okay, I actually kind of have to go with that.
Thanks for sharing.
I
The
was
Prodigy will be signing autographs in the bathroom.
I was looking down at the table where he's signing, and there's no one standing there waiting. I think you're charging too much.
I'm not charging at all.
Well, then you better start paying people to show up. Why is-
Okay. And take it away from Matt to hand out the awards for our 4th place finishers.
Okay, bowling fans, that concludes game 2 of our stepladder finals. Finishing in 4th place today in the scratch division, getting a $60 scholarship, certificate, and award goes to Alex Glinsky. And our 4th place finisher in the handicap division, receiving a $40 scholarship, certificate, and medal goes to Brianna Strickland. All right, that concludes our second match. We'll head on to the semifinal.
It's on.
Is that because of the yellow button?
Wi-Fi. I've only lost less than 6% of the frames. It's not this. It's going out. The Wi-Fi just needs the greatest. All right. So as they start to practice for our semifinal match, Skip, the word on the street says that you played a round of golf today with Bill Clinton. How did you do?
Good question. I don't remember. I was on mute.
Good job.
It's good I was on mute when I just told you about that round of golf.
Yes.
One thing,
Apparently Clinton won.
he denied everything.
Why, yes, he did. In perfect Clinton fashion.
I don't understand one comment he made though. I told him I'd email the final scores, and he said they'd probably get lost in the trash.
Interesting.
Must be a Clinton thing, I don't know.
Very, very interesting, that Slick Willie. But he is the big dog.
He is.
We got Krieger versus Krieger.
Did you just yawn as you started talking?
Yes.
It's gonna get fired. He's certainly not the prodigy of TV broadcasting.
No, and that's what he's going to college for. So.
Sorry.
Don't do it again.
That's all right. He's going to be leaving the broadcast group for this game to go sign autographs.
So there's a pretty big line over there now.
Oh! Hold everything. We have a comment.
Go away.
Full out. Who's the scratch number 1 seed?
He's just gonna have to tune in and find out.
That is correct. You're just going to have to tune in to the next match and find out. I will tell you one thing. He is in the building as we speak.
No.
The number 1 seed.
No way.
He shot 300.
And he shot 300.
No, he didn't.
With a
Plastic.
blue Pearl Hammer circa 1980 whatever.
But it looks plastic.
There's your hint. So if you know who throws bowling balls from the 1980s, Cole, you know who the number 1 seed is in scratch.
What's the year thing?
We'll give you a hint. He's standing right in front of us.
But off the camera. So he is one. I tell you what, he is one of the ugliest kids here on the PJBT tour. Little delay in the start. We certainly didn't pick the best pair to put the handicap on. for our live stream. This lane is giving us a little trouble, but that's what makes this interesting. You do realize once we turn over the headset to Matt, we're not going to be able to say anything for the next game. Right, Skip?
Do we really ever get to say anything?
Not really.
And now here's Matt.
Okay, bowling fans, it's time for our semifinal for today's tournament. We have the number 2 seed, Curtis Stidd, taking on the number 3 seed, Jared DeFalco. Curtis has elected to have Jared start on the left lane for the match. In the handicap side, we have the battle of the Kriegers. We have 2nd seed, Cody Krieger, versus 3rd seed, Kelsey Krieger. Cody has elected to start. First shot on 21, and the handicap difference is in. Let's, bowling fans, let's have a nice hand for our semifinalists for today's tournament.
And we are ready to go. The Prodigy has stepped out of the booth.
Not actually yet.
And yet you have. He's going down to sign autographs.
By himself.
In the men's room. And joining us once he takes his microphone off of mute, the one, the only, Mr. Crank, Matthew Himmelreich.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Mr. Himmelreich.
I am honored to join you here in the PJBT studios.
It is a modern, up-to-date studios. We spared no expense.
We are looking for some sponsors over our broadcasts.
Yes.
And we don't need money either.
Yes, we do.
I'd take like Chick-fil-A sandwiches for a beer or something. I'd be okay with that.
Problem is,
They're closed on Sundays. There is a Dairy Queen down the street. Maybe we can get them involved.
I'd rather A&M Pizza if we're going to go down the street.
If it's free, it's for me.
That
I'll take
stuff
free.
rocks. Well, anyway, Kelsey.
I was going to say, you guys sound pretty hungry.
We are. The three of us are a little bored. Some of us more than others. By the way, Curtis starts out in the strike. Jared went high. He made the spare. Kelsey went strike. 3 count. Cody went strike. Kelsey, by the way, is getting 82 pins from her older brother.
Interesting match on the Krieger side there with the brother and sister bowling each other, and Kelsey, our champion last week at the first major of the year in Ephrata. So looking to make it back-to-back this week, she has to take down her older brother to do it.
I don't think that'll be too difficult. The older brother should have always let the younger sister.
I'm not quite sure he feels the same way as you do.
Curtis, nice shot, stone to 10 in the second.
Interesting tournament today. Even though we were on a house pattern today, we had a couple of very good scores, a couple of honor scores, but scores overall were not through the roof. Certainly the cuts were reasonable today, kept the ball in play, shot a couple good games. Certainly scores started to take off a little bit more during match play, but during qualifying, scores did not get too high today. So very interesting pace on the field today.
Yeah, we were wondering, Matt, the Prodigy and I, Daniel, if this place uses either like an ice or a Defense S oil, which would cause.
Well, I can tell you from the characteristics of this center, from bowling in this from a couple of other tournaments. Many years ago, I bowled in the JBTs here, and also the Dutchman tournament, which is a big adult tournament that's here for months out of the summer. This center typically has a lot of friction. This is a very high friction center, and typically it does have the characteristics that usually the left-handers bowl very well here. I know over past years we've had some left-handers win in the center. Even my brother, I believe, has a title from many years ago in this center. So, and you know, to kind of go with that, tournament leader Anthony and I are, you know, left-handed. We'll get to see him in the next match for the title.
Well, if you're saying that this house is a little more high friction, that would definitely tend to tell me that they might be using an ice or a Defense S kind of oil, because definitely watching the qualifying round, it definitely looked like the shot tightened as the squad progressed before it started to loosen up towards the middle of Game 5 and then all throughout match.
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly one of the characteristics, it seems like, of the center. I mean, I remember from bowling in tournaments here that they do seem to tighten up a little after the fresh pattern gets carried down a little bit. But usually, like most centers, you know, the pattern starts to open up as time goes on, and that's when you start to see the scores take off. So it'll be interesting to see here. Pretty even match on the scratch side with Jarrett and Curtis. Curtis looking for a strike in the third as he gets one.
That match is dead even.
Handicap side, Cody is only ahead of Kelsey by 9 pins scratch. So he certainly has some work to do as Kelsey picks up a strike. A nice Jersey strike there down the middle in frame number 4.
Once again, for those of you that are watching us on our YouTube, we invite you to throw some comments up on our chat line, Cody with a strike as well. And also invite your friends to come out and watch. If they watch this, they might want to come out and bowl. Certainly, you don't need to be a really good bowler to come out and bowl. We certainly have people in the handicap division that have averaged less than 100, win a bunch of tournaments.
Yeah, it's a great part of our handicap division, Jason, is that, yeah, you don't need to be a high average bowler. You just need to, you need to bowl over your average. That's the most important thing about our events, and that's why we have the 2 divisions for high level scratch bowlers and the up and coming handicap side.
So Curtis, by the way, doubled in the third and fourth. He takes a 10 now up to 12 with DeFalco going high and leaving the 3-6. Cody had a nice shot, left a 4-pin. He covers that spot. It's easy.
Cody's certainly doing his job there on his, really can't see the scores, but he has 5 frames, which is something that no one's been able to do yet against Kelsey. I guess I really can't say no one. She only bowled 1 match so far, so I guess that was not really the good.
Maybe you were harking back to last week as well.
Move over that.
Yes. Kelsey, by the way, went light, left herself the difficult 1-5-7. DeFalco did pick up his spare. He's down by 12. Kelsey gets 1. She has 74 through 5, 156 with her handicap. She's still up by 50-some pins. DeFalco comes back with a beautiful shot in the 5th.
Interesting match here on the stretch side also, a rematch of our semifinal from last week. Right now Curtis on a pace of 280 and Jarrett on pace of 258. However, if Curtis does not strike in 1 frame, we have an even match once again. We are in the 5th frame. Picks up the triple.
Keeps the pressure on. Kelsey, unfortunately, leaves a split. She's trying to get 2, which she does. She has 83 in the 6th, 165 with her for a handicap.
It's very interesting when you see a match like on the handicap side with the higher handicap. You know, so many times bowlers go into a match like that almost defeated, knowing they give up 80-some pins handicap. But realistically, if Cody bowls his game, he will win that match.
Yes, if he bowls his average and the lower average bowler bowls their average, since we're 90% handicap, the higher average bowler will win. Plain and simple.
It sounds simple, but what's amazing is most bowlers kind of go into a match feeling defeated before they start just because of the handicap being so high. And it's important for a bowler like Cody to keep filling frames as he does there with the spare, keeping the board clean through 6 frames. It's important that he continues to do that, throws in a couple strikes when he can, because when you're bowling a lower average bowler like Kelsey, you know, typically that type of bowler is going to have more open frames, and quickly he will come back to the handicap. So,
yes.
Interesting match we have going on there. DeFalco lets that one go a little wide, but he gets the strike. Doubles up.
Lisa Myers is checking in. She says she loves watching her niece and nephew bowl, and to go the Kriegers. Lisa, we like watching them bowl too, and feel free to tell all your friends to join us here at PJBT Bowling Tour?
Bowling Series.
Bowling, which is it on YouTube?
PJBT Bowling Series.
PJBT Bowling Series. I should know, I'm the one that set it up.
Cody with a big strike on lane 21. He's creeping closer.
Jared looking to triple. Oh! Goes a little high, but is able to trip the 4-pin.
Is that what we refer to as the snowplow?
No.
I couldn't see that one. I missed that one.
Yes, he actually, that's what we refer to as a trip of the 4-pin.
A trip of the 4-pin.
Trip of the 4-pin.
So it wasn't that high in the pocket.
No, it was definitely a 4-pin style hit. The ball actually rolled out going into the pocket, which helped.
One of the only trips you don't need a ticket for.
Yes.
Great shot there by Curtis. Now with 5 in a row, keeping the pressure on DeFalco as, again, DeFalco can still shoot 258 and Curtis on that 280 pace.
Really big strike there for Kelsey in the 8th.
Jason, I just saw your kid walk by. I don't think he's signing any autographs.
I guess not.
He didn't have any type of rider's cramp in his legs, so I don't think anybody showed up. Cody now on lane 22.
He comes in like definitely, you know, for those that are playing a little straighter on the handicap side, that lane looks to be definitely tighter than 21. Curtis with a great shot, but Stone's a 10 pin. And that, my friends, makes this a 1-pin match if he makes it straight.
And there's nothing we love more than a 1-pin match.
As many of our PJBT fans know out there, there's nothing as PJBT fans out there know, there's nothing better than we have a tie. It could happen there on the stretch side with just 1 pin separating them with 2.5 frames to go.
Cody made the spare. He's got 136 with a spare up in the 9th. Bad break for Cody, leaving the 8-10. So assuming he gets 1, and if he were to strike out the 10th, he can go for 193, which with Kelsey having a strikeout in the 8th at 173, it's looking pretty good for Kelsey to try to go back to back. DeFalco buries the hole.
Tough shot there for Cody on the right, on the lane 21. The ball just didn't drive through the pocket. And we've seen that a couple times today. If your ball angle didn't come in properly, it kind of hit a little flat. So it's a tough frame for them there.
Kelsey getting
Leaves a split of her own. Kelsey leaves the 4.79. She's still okay though.
Yeah, she's definitely in the driver's seat.
Jared up on lane 19. Comes up a little high again on that lane. Gets the strike.
And Kelsey has officially shut out her brother Cody and will be moving on to the finals to take on Darren Zombro. Another match where she'll be getting a lot of pins again. Curtis needing all four to shut out Jared. Let's see if he can get the first. And he does. That ball set up nice. Could have been a 10 pin, but it wasn't.
I'm gonna have to go out and find some other special guys for the last match.
Order 128, your quality drinks are ready.
Wait, you mean I'm not as exciting as your other announcers?
I thought we only signed him to a one-match deal. I didn't know there was an option.
It was an option for us to pick him up, not for him. We have a one-pin match.
I know I got an opt-out.
You must now play for the Phillies.
Once again, Kelsey has wrapped up the handicap match. She's just throwing out the straight.
Phillies won today, Matt, by the way, 5-1. Jedmar Gomez with a clean ninth inning.
I need to check the weather forecast. I think it should be snowing.
Oh, Curtis, a little high, leaves himself a solid 9.
Wow, what a shot there. Because that now leaves the door open for DeFalco. He will need just the first strike in the 10th to take home the match.
Curtis shaking his head a little bit.
That was a great shot. There was nothing much you could do about that one.
Again, though, we've been here before with DeFalco. I keep saying it. Many times he's had the match on his fingertips and he's let it slip away. So maybe this year he's turned the corner.
Sid goes through the nose, leaves the 3-6-10 for 236.
That was a very important shot because if DeFalco does happen to get a 9 or an 8, if you were to go 9 spare, you only need a strike to win. And there we go. He leaves the 10 pin. He's going to need to make this and strike to win by a pin.
We have the possibility of a tie.
Yes. Thanks to Curtis's 7th pin.
Anything is possible. Jarrett spares it up. He now needs a strike to shoot 237.
Bet you Curtis is kicking himself. I bet he was a little upset after not striking. He lost a little bit of concentration, and that might wind up costing him this match. It's never over till it's over.
Absolutely.
Jared DeFalco needing a strike to move on to the finals.
Sometimes you need 11 frames to get it done. And he does just that. 237, 236. DeFalco moves on to the finals to try to make it back-to-back weeks. So both of last week's winners, Skip, have made it to the finals yet again. Can't tell you when the last time was that happened.
All right, we'll be back with the presentation of our third place finishers, and we'll be back for the finals. You're watching live coverage from Palmyra Bowling Center, a PJBT event number 2.
Okay, bowling fans, that concludes our semifinal for today's tournament. Finishing in third place, in the scratch division, receiving a $70 scholarship, certificate, and award goes to Curtis Stead. Finishing in third place in the handicap division, getting a $50 scholarship, certificate, and award goes to Cody Krieger. Okay, and that moves us on to the title match for today's tournament. Okay, we've got what? Anthony. 2 bowls in each ring. 2 over there if you want. Okay. Darren, 2 balls in each ring. Kelsey, 2 on you want.
Yep. Cool.
It's more than
Get your little belt hanging out.
Okay, and we are back, getting ready for the final match. On the scratch side, it's going to be number 1 seed Anthony Nyer against number 3 seed Jared DeFalco. And on the handicap side, we have Darren Zombro, the number 1 seed against the 3 seed Kelsey Krieger. Joining us for this match is another Zombro, Lebanon County's own Mr. 800. How many times now, Mr. Zombro?
62 times.
Did I hear that right? 62 800 series.
That's only 60 more than us.
Do they bowl 4 game blocks up in Lebanon County, or do they bowl like 13 frames?
I thought it was 2 game sets with a couple extra frames.
Just a couple.
They bowl 15 game frames up here.
By the way, this is Darren Zombro who's joining us.
It's a pleasure to be here.
He's going to be calling his son's match. Darren, let me ask you a question. Similar to that kid with the last name Altez, I say it's never been genetically proven that he's mine. Do you feel the same way about Zombro I down there?
He's kind of taken after me lately, so I always gotta say yeah.
It's a little different though, you know. Zombro and Zombro actually do things alike. Your kid just doesn't follow in your shadow. Well, your supposed kid. The prodigy of what we don't know yet.
Which might not be a bad idea though sometimes.
Kelsey Krieger is going to be receiving 85 pins handicap against Darren Zombro.
That's a lot. That's going to be tough to overcome.
It will be tough, but that's why you play the game. You don't know what's going to happen. If she gets on, if she gets locked in, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. You gotta play the game. That's how you learn.
Looks like when we start that DeFalco, we'll be starting the scratch. match, and Zombro I will be starting the handicap match.
We are ready for the title match for the Palmyra Lanes Open for the PJBT. Top seed Anthony Nyer has elected to let number 3 seed Jared DeFalco start the match for the scratch division. For the handicap division, we have top seed Darren Zombro III. He is elected to start, taking on 3rd seed Kelsey Krieger. Pulling fans, let's have a nice hand for our title matches for today's tournament.
You have to excuse me, those that are watching, if you're listening to me eat, I'm swallowing some Mike and Ike's to give me some energy to make it through.
They're really, really good, so that's okay.
I will say this, on both sides of this match, we should see 2 really good title matches.
Darren starts off with a strike on lane 21.
He's looking kind of confident.
Okay, that's good.
Did you see that struck coming off the lanes?
I don't know where he picked that from.
Falco going high, leaves himself only the 10 pin, tripped out before.
Kelsey went up a little high through the beat, even a 310.
That's 3 straight shots on 19 for Jared that he went high.
Yep. Could be a sign of things to come. By the way, I know we should have done this before we started. We have predictions in this match. Let's start with our guest, Mr. Zombro.
Which match?
Both matches.
Well, Anthony and I are. It's I gotta go with him. Mainly because of me being a left-hander. I gotta stick with I gotta stick with it. But from what I was watching him, he had a really good look on the left side, which I know people are being like, yeah, when don't he does. But I think he's going to be pretty hard to beat. Handicap side here between my son and Kelsey, it could go either way. That match, with her handicap, which that's how it is, but she makes a couple strings here, it's 2-3 spares in a row and a strike. My son would have to string about a 4-bagger, 5-bagger here in the middle.
Well, before I make any type of a prediction, Jason, I think you and I are both going to agree. We absolutely have to get off this horrible schneid we're on. Because I think we've lost about 20 picks in a row.
That's not very good there.
Over here on the scratch side, I'm going to take Anthony on the left side. The left side's fresh, and we've seen these right-handers have a little bit of an issue coming high, especially on lane 19. Over on the handicap side, I'm going to have to take the experience with Darren Zombro. I've seen him overcome these high handicaps before. Has nothing to do with his dad sitting next to me. That's just my expert opinion. And I do consider myself an expert.
Yeah. As you can tell by the way we pick these games. By the way, before we started the stepladder, I had predicted both of the number 1 seeds would be champions today. We just saw Anthony shoot a 300 on this very same pair. There's been nobody on the left side. Nobody's crossed his line. So the question was only going to be, how much dust would have fallen on the lane, or how cramped up would he get from waiting around. It doesn't look like that's been an issue. On the handicap side, honestly, I was a little surprised that Kelsey made it to the finals. I'm still going to pick Darren, primarily because his dad slipped me a 50 to actually pick Kelsey because he knows how bad our picks are. But sorry, no refunds.
I could use that 50.
By the way, Darren marked the first 3 frames. Kelsey left 2 310s, and then she converted a spare in the third. DeFalco went spare, and Anthony went double. Better shot there by Jarrett. Looked like he made an adjustment left.
Kelsey had a problem with her ball there. It really came out of her hand really quick. Kind of went out on her.
On a side note, while I'm thinking about it, do you think if we get our 2 picks right today, we can start charging again for picks?
After having 20 in a row, nah, you have to have a couple.
We're on a
You
roll.
gotta get a couple, right?
I don't think it matters whether we win or lose. We should charge at all times. Because even if we lose, people know, just like, what's his name, to take the opposite. Kelsey's shaking her hand a little.
Not happy with how her hand is feeling. Maybe it could be a couple of variables. How many games she bowled already, or is her hand swelling?
One thing we do have on these 2 matches, we do not have anyone looking for their first title today, so they've all been here before. Darren with the strike on day 22 there, off to a nice start. And also Anthony with the 4-bagger.
Throwing his Blue Pro hammer circa 1980, whatever.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong.
I do believe that ball may be older than the 2 gentlemen sitting to my left. No? You're that old?
Yes.
It's older than I am.
You got that ball inside a little bit there. Yes, I'm a little older than that there, buddy.
Yeah, I completely forgot that you were left-handed. If I remembered you were lefty, I would have been shocked at 62 800 series. I'd have said, why don't you have 162 800 series?
That's why everybody keeps on asking me why I don't have 100 perfect games yet. We're getting there. Close.
Compared to mine, none.
93. So I'm trying to sneak up
lefties.
there.
If only we were lefties.
Well, we do bowl in Reading, so we do have that going for us.
I almost had my only one and only perfect game at Cedar Lanes back in 1995 fall. I'm not sure if young Mr. Zombro was in the building that night. It was a Friday night.
Very good possibility I was. 95. Very good possibility.
Front 11 playing right down the gutter with my Kuda C, dipping my shoulder to get the ball to hook, and I nipped my left ankle and put it in the gutter at the dots. I don't mind telling that story over and over again, because there was a nice write-up in the Lebanon Daily News about my experience.
And just don't worry, you are not the only one who has ever did that there. That makes you feel good.
I have 2 beautiful plaques that year for 11 in a row.
That's 11 in a row the wrong way.
Yes. Back then, you were given a plaque for 11 in a row with anything under 298.
Now you're just happy to get anything.
Yeah. Hey, we are up to 51 viewers now, which is a season high for us, so keep it going, everybody. Anthony with the 5 lead.
Anthony is locked. I mean, that, with not too many of us on that side, if you get lined up early, you're number one.
And as soon as I say that, we dropped to 45.
Way to go.
Those people must have had to reset their internet connections.
Something like that. By the way, young Zombro III is clean through 7. It's
Looking
making
good.
this match very interesting. Anthony comes in a little behind the head pin, leaves the 10. Lucky to leave only the 10, almost left the 5 with it.
Kelsey's starting to throw the ball a lot better now here these last couple frames. She must have overcome her hand issue. Maybe it's just a little swollen, or she got maybe a towel or something. She comes in with nice 3 spares in a row.
Falco looking to capitalize on his spare 5th. And he does. does, barely tripping out of 7. He is down by about 32 at the moment. Cut into 22 with the strike here in the 7.
There goes Kelsey with another strike. Good Jersey side, but hey, when you all go down, you all go down.
This is a big shot here for Darren. He is on a double.
This is probably where, since Kelsey's making her spares now, so she's kind of getting lined in here, so this is where he probably needs to have a 4-bagger, 5-bagger here to help out.
That's 3. You could tell. You could tell he definitely has some hereditarily good bowling skills in it.
I will tell you this, I did tell him, before I walked back here, I said, Bud, I said, you're going to need probably about a T30 game here. So I ain't taking anything away from a Kelsey at all. She threw the ball pretty good all day today. She makes her spares.
4-bagger there for Zombro.
By the way, where is Darren going to be bowling junior leagues this winter?
This year he is bowling up at a 222 Dutch. They started yesterday. It's the first day. Ooh, Andy got that in. And it helped.
That's that blue pearl.
That's that left side.
That too.
That's back when they knew how to make bowling balls.
Yes, definitely. I had myself a red pearl hammer and the original blue hammer. That was the ball that took my game up above and beyond.
Anthony and I are throwing, the blue pearl hammer, and my son right now, he's throwing the Columbia 300 raw urge all day today.
Oh, pocket 7-10. That opens this match right back up.
Interesting.
It's 2 straight shots on that lane where he's coming a little bit behind the head pin.
Oh, Kelsey almost tripped out that 9.
All right, so Anthony is 187.38.
Very bad break. Kelsey
Really
taking
opens
care
the
of that
door
9 pin.
to Falcon. Kelsey with the spare first shot in 10. She could go out for a 224 with her handicap. Darren could go 259, so he has this match in hand. Again, you really knew what you were talking about when you told me he was going to have to shoot 230.
Hey, I mean, I watched Kelsey these last 3 games, and then so far here in the finals. I mean, she's been throwing the ball really good. She's been leaving a lot of easy spares, and the object of the game is you got to make her spares. So she's been doing a really good job of that. So I told my son, it's like, you're going to need to shoot at least the 230 game.
Skip, it's as if he got in his DeLorean and went into the future.
It's good your kid's not here. We'd have to hear about those new ones again.
So my kid goes up here, it's a solid one, and that pretty much locks it down.
That wraps the match up.
Yep, he's now in the 240s.
For a change, my son finally listened to me. Doesn't happen much.
Won't be long till he's in the scratch division.
I know it will not be. If he keeps up his trend and how it's been in the last couple of years, there's probably a very good possibility halfway through the season he will probably end up having to move up.
He's going to be in the 250s. In fact, as long as he gets 9 here, he will shut out the scratch side.
And we have an interesting match over here in the scratch division.
Very
It's
interesting.
still wide open.
Yes. This is a big 9th and 10th frame here.
It's a big call here for an iron. Very good
He could
shot.
go out for 247. If he strikes out here, he will force Jarrett to double. 257 for
My
Dan.
kid ends up at 257.
Jason, no matter what happens, we have a win under our belt tonight.
Yes. That was a very, very well-bowled handicap match between Darren and Kelsey. 257 to 222 is the final. That was an excellent
A
match.
very good match between both kids, Kelsey and my son. Very entertaining.
Oh, yeah. He definitely got that slow. He was looking to get a little bit earlier reaction. He was slow.
I couldn't tell by my angle with the chairs. I don't know if he grabbed it or just got slow.
I would definitely say that ball looked at least a half a mile an hour slower. And that's going to cost him the championship. So 213 for Anthony. DeFalco just basically needs to show up in the 10th, and he is a back-to-back winner to start out season 18.
Back-to-back?
Yes.
I forgot who won last week's competitions.
There was a chance we could have had back-to-back on both sides.
Yes, I know. I remember Kelsey winning the handicap one last week, but that's still not a bad start at all. The first week of the season, winning, and then coming back the following week being a runner-up. That is great.
Looks like a winner for the 9 is good.
Now, I do gotta ask one thing with my kid and my mom. My kid was wearing her shoes today, trying to help break them in for her. So I don't know if she's gonna be able to get them back now.
Jarrett makes the spare. With the strike, we'll shoot 236.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we now have our winners. So we will take a break. We will be back with the trophy presentation and post-match interviews with the winners. We invite everybody to stay tuned. Please do not leave until you are instructed to. Once again, you are watching.
Are you trying to get all these kids all ready for school or something?
That's right. You are watching the finals of PJBT Season 18 Tournament number 2 here in beautiful Palmyra Bowling Center. But just so you know, when you mute one, you mute all.
So they won't mute when I hit the button.
They're all interconnected. Now, I don't know when you're on mute if I talk if they can still hear you. If you on mute and you talk, I couldn't hear you. Okay.
Yeah.
As soon as he is done, he's going to do pictures to bring this down. Face up.
Okay, bowling fans, it is time to give out our final awards for today's PJBT here at Palmyra Bowling Center. Our runner-up finisher in the scratch division, getting a $100 scholarship. He also received an additional $57 for his 300-game bowl during match play. $157 total, and his second place award goes to Anthony Nyer. Our runner-up finisher in the handicap division, getting a $100 scholarship, certificate, and runner-up award goes to Kelsey Krieger. And now to present our awards to our champions in the scratch division. Making it 2 for 2 on the season so far, we have a $200 scholarship for our winner, and the first place acrylic plaque goes to Jared DeFalco. Our winner in the handicap division, receiving a $200 scholarship, certificate, and the first place acrylic plaque goes to Darren Zombro III. Thank you. you, everybody. Stay tuned. Our winners will be taking a picture with us, and then they'll be back on the live stream for final interviews. Thank you, everybody. We hope to see everybody next weekend in New Jersey for the Palmyra Bowl Scholarship Tournament and our event. Thank you.
All right, we will be back momentarily with the post-game interviews of the winners. Stay tuned.
You want to do the name?
Come on.
Yeah, just do it up close.
You're fine.
You know what?
It's right where I have it.
Down there. Right. Okay, Jared, bring it. I couldn't get you open last time. Okay. All right, guys. Congratulations, Darren. Here's your scholarship. There you go.
We'll take both of you individually back here.
You got your scholarship paper, right? Yeah. You got it back. All right, good bowl.
You gonna go first? Come on in.
So far. On the first two events.
Okay, and we are here with the handicap champion today of Palmyra, Darren Zamro III. No? Yes? No?
He doesn't seem impressed.
No, he doesn't. I guess he just doesn't get my comedy. Darren, how does it feel to win today?
It feels good.
That would make sense.
Well, he's not going to come up here and say, wow, that was the worst thing I ever did.
What were your keys to victory today?
I felt confident and having fun bowling. I was just happy and all that.
Well, that's good. So your dad was saying, he told you before the match started that he felt that you were going to need to throw 230 to win this match, and that's exactly what needed to happen. In fact, you'd be the scratch division champion today. How's that make you feel?
Feels awesome.
How old are you?
12.
Going into what grade?
7th.
Thanks be to God that my non-genetically proven kid will be out of high school by the time you get to high school. Because I see bright things happening for your future high school bowling, assuming your school has a bowling team. Where do you go to school?
Cedar Crest.
They have a bowling team, I do believe. Yes. Skip, any questions for this young 12-year-old here?
No, I think you covered it.
No? Well, not yet. We have one very major, the most important question that I ask. Darren III, who is your favorite PJBT personality? Out of all the people that run the PJBT, you have Skip, you have Matt, you have Brittany, you have Mom, you have Pop, you have Travis, you have myself. Who is your favorite PJBT personality?
Right here.
Right here, what? Say a name. That guy? You're dismissed. Get out of here.
You got shut down again.
That was Darren. Let's see. I have to remember. Who was it that? It was DeFalco that gave me a yes, because I got to keep track. Where is DeFalco? Right, you too, but you didn't win. Waiting for.
Come on in here. Let's do this again.
All right.
You know, Skip, it feels like we were here just 1 week ago.
Groundhog Day.
Yes. Yes. Interviewing
Same church, just a different view.
something like that. I believe I had the same shirt on.
I did not.
I think he may have had that same shirt on too.
I had a purple one on last week.
Same thing. Same thing. So, dare I say, the gentleman sitting to my left is the early clubhouse leader for Bowler of the Year.
Yes, he is.
How's that feel?
It feels great. That's what I was going for this year. So
You've essentially forced yourself into having to bowl more tournaments now.
really,
Really?
I bowl as many as I can. Hopefully,
And all the ones you show up to, you make count.
yeah. Hopefully. Got pretty lucky today, so I'm feeling good after that.
Well, usually when I televise your matches, there always seems to be close, first off, coming late into the match night. I always tend to say that one thing about you, Mr. Del Falco, to your detriment, is you have a way of letting people back in matches.
Yeah.
And so far this year, that's not happening. So as long as I keep saying it, you may just keep winning it. So
I mean, I hope so. I mean, I definitely realize that. I've been working on that a lot. You know, I've been bowling one-on-one with Connor a lot, one-on-one with a lot of my friends, trying to practice that. Because the mentality, you get lazy. You know, you think you're having the bag, and you don't. You just throw it away. And that was happening last year a lot. So I'm trying to reverse that and see if I can get a few more titles this season.
that's true. Anything else, Mr. Moyer?
Bowl in the Parker Bowl tournament next weekend?
I cannot make it, unfortunately. I'd love to go, but I won't have a way of getting up here.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to ask you who your favorite PJBT personality is, so I'm not giving you the chance to change your answer from last week.
I wouldn't change my answer anyway.
Very good.
He got dissed already once today, so.
Very good. Well, Mr. DeFalco, congratulations on your back-to-back tournament wins, and I'm sure we'll be seeing you more here sitting with us after tournaments in the future.
I hope so.
We look forward to seeing some more success.
Me too.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up our interviews with our winners. Skip, how do you think today went?
I like the haircut, by the way.
Thank you.
I don't know, I wasn't here. I've only been here for about 2 hours, so maybe
That's
not
true.
even that.
That's true. Well, before we take off for the day, let's recap what's coming up next week. The PJBT is going on the road to Howell, New Jersey, and we just lost the signal, so maybe we won't be doing a recap. There we are.
And we're back.
And we're back. So we're going on the road to Howell, New Jersey. Friday night there is a doubles eliminator. Saturday is the annual Parker Bowl Junior Tournament. And Sunday is a regular PJBT tournament. Information for all three events you can find on the PJBT website at pjbtbowlingseries.com.
And for those of you out there who have not signed up for the Danny Wiseman tournament yet, there are still some spots available in the 9 a.m. and the 6:30 squad. The 1:30 squad is sold out.
And the early squad is filling up very fast too. Last I saw, I think there was less than 10.
I believe so.
Yeah.
And also for Parker Bowen's event, if you would like to get into that, please contact Leslie as soon as you can and get your paperwork in, and hopefully we see everybody for the whole entire weekend next weekend.
I will not be there Saturday. I may come down there Sunday.
I will sort of give everyone your presents.
Why, thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for Skip Moyer, whose real name is Josh. I'm PA Fats. My real name is Jason. Thank you once again for joining all 8 people that are still watching us.
We have 8 fans instead of us.
Until next week, see ya. Wouldn't wanna be ya. And again, don't try this at home. Leave it to the professionals.
Don't do anything we do at home.
Bye-bye.
That's terrible. Terrible.
I'll keep you in.
Alright, Keith.
I
don't take my stuff out.
See you guys.
See ya.
See ya.
Couple weeks.
Hope you have a good time.
See you at leisure, I guess.
I'll be there, God willing.
Okay.
And if we're not there, we'll be somewhere.
Okay.